Hey, Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome to today's Bitcoin update. And we are on an edge of a decision for the next 2-3 days, and this is gonna change the outlook of every single thing for the next coming month. And it's a very important update for today. Okay, yesterday I talked about the 54,000 level for a dip right there, but the market they change, and when they change, we have to change with the market. Okay, at any given point of time, if the market says I'm not going down, you don't revenge trade. Okay, and revenge trading is one of the most baddest thing ever. Now there's something known as a psychological level. If we go to Google right now, I'm gonna write a psychological level of technical analysis. Okay, and if you read something about this, there's a price level in technical analysis that is significantly affects the price of an underlying security, commodity, derivative. Typically the number is something that is easy to remember, such as rounded off number. Okay, there is a psychological level that is easy to remember, and that for us is going to be, something like 70,000 is a psychological number. Something like 65,000 is a psychological number. Now the fact that this one went to 69,000, the psychological level of this one was 70,000. Okay, now this one has something to do with trading. The psychological level has something to do with trading. Now let's say a price is going nearly 69,000. Your brain psychologically is programmed in a way that it's going to think we're going to go to 70,000. And if we go near the 90,000, you're going to think we're going to go to the 100,000. What happened in 2017 bull market was that we went nearly the 19,000 and people were thinking Bitcoin is going to do 20,000. So psychological number of something that are of great importance. Now, 53,000 is a number that we remembered easily because this was your last swing high before the September dump. Do you understand that? It does make perfect sense that this is going to act as a big level of support, and the reason why I just draw this line right there. But what about today? What about today? We are on the edge of a decision making. There's two things I want to tell you. The daily candlestick and then the 4-hour time frame. I'm just going to hide the EMAs, we don't need them at the moment. Okay, and I want to talk about this one, and I want you to remember this very carefully and trade accordingly. Okay, and trade accordingly. Now at the moment, I'm gonna first of all tell you something about the 4-hour time frame. Now hear me out. On the 4-hour time frame, we're potentially about to make an inverse head and shoulders, and I'm not gonna ignore it. You're gonna have a level of neckline right there, and this could potentially be your left shoulder, your head right there, and your right shoulder. It hasn't broken out. It hasn't broken out, but this nonetheless is a bullish pattern, and they indicate a reversal, meaning that the prices are not interested to go down anymore and they're starting to pick up and the business is going to go north. Okay, that's the first thing. But this one hasn't broken out. There is the fact that I told you yesterday we can drop here is still in play. It is still logical. It is still there. Okay, we haven't invalidated that just yet. We're going to invalidate it when you cross a certain level like 60,372 backtest, and then you're going to move towards the nearly 63,000. That's the first scenario, which hasn't played out. Okay, and I have to tell you, I have to put this one on you. Now this is for the 4-hour time frame. On the daily, there is something known as a hangman candlestick pattern, and I'm going to show you the hangman just in a while. I'm going to bring this one here, and if you don't know anything about the hangman, it is this red candle right there on the daily. Okay, on the daily. So what can happen, and as a matter of fact, at the moment I'm recording this video and it's going to take next 14 to 15 hours to close this candle. The closing of this candle is really important. If we start to close like a little bit above here to the green section and go to 60,000, then I don't think we're ever gonna go down here. I don't think we're gonna go down here. But if we end like this, I'm gonna show you the image. I'm gonna show you this image. If we end like this, a body like that and a long wick down there and a small to no wick at all, and this is known as a hanging man. If we close like this, you can see the prices are gonna go down, and the potential play of us going towards the $50,000 to $53,000 level will be intact. Now the closing in the next 1 or 2 days is really important based on the daily of this candlestick. If we start closing green, then you're going to be forming something as a 3 white soldiers. You see, the market changes, and this is what we do in the channel. Okay, this is what we're doing in the channel. That's why I'm responsible to make you aware of. Okay, that's how trading works. It doesn't work when you want it to work. The market will move because it has to move, and it has to change directions. We are both in both scenarios. On the 4-hour time frame, a potential inverse head and shoulders, which hasn't played out yet, but it can potentially play out. On the daily, we are potentially forming a hanging man, that if it actually closes like this, that can actually give us confidence that the prices are going to be pushed towards the downside based on the charts and not my own opinion. Okay, if anyone has a can do a constructive criticism and say that I'm wrong, they're welcome to say so. Okay, so you can already see when you have a hanging man like this, you can have 1-2 green candles, a hanging man, and then you go down. Look, 1-2 green candles, you form a hanging man, you're gonna push the prices towards the downside, unless you do. Once again, I'm gonna repeat this, unless you're not closing nearly a green candle to the 60,500, then for me that's 3 white soldiers, and that potentially you're breaking out of that inverse head and shoulders, and this will be your bottom right there. And there's one more thing that can potentially tell you that this was your bottom. Okay, I'm not saying it is, but potentially it could, because we have to pay attention to every single scenario that is possible. So I'm going to zoom out of everything right there, and I'm going to show you the larger Fibonacci retracement that I showed you yesterday. I'm going to take the top to the bottom just like that, and it came nearly, it finds support nearly the 786. Do you see that? And that could have been your bottom, because this was your psychological level. This is a leading indicator on the Fibonacci retracement, and there's no reason for you to ignore this. Okay, and there's no reason to ignore this one as well. So the next 2 days are important. I've already told you the whole scenario. I do hope this one you can understand the scenario much more better. So the next 15 hours are important, and how we close for the next 15 hours, and I'm going to see you tomorrow with the new update. Allah Hafiz.